शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। यो गुरुः स शिवः प्रोक्तः यः शिवः स गुरुः स्मृतः विकल्पं यस्तु कुर्वीत स नरो गुरुतल्पगः। सदा शिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनशम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। प्लीज रिपीट। नमः श्री शंकरानंद गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलास महामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणे। We will read 183rd verse, page 195. आविर्भावयति स्वस्मिन् विलीनं सकलं जगत् प्राणिकर्मवशादेशः पटो यद्वत्प्रसारितः पुनस्थिरो भावयति स्वात्मन्येवाखिलं जगत् प्राणिकर्मक्षयवशात् संकोचितपटो यथा रात्रिघस्रौ सुप्तिबोधौ उन्मीलननिमीलने तूष्णीं भावमनोराज्ये इव सृष्टिलया विमौ आविर्भावतिरोभाव शक्तिमत्वेन हेतुना आरम्भपरिणाम आदिचोद्यानां नात्र संशयः। Sambhava. We will read both the lines. This is one word, so I will read together. आविर्भावतिरोभाव शक्तिमत्वेन हेतुना आरम्भण परिणामादि चोद्यानां नात्र संशयः। अचेतनानां हेतु स्यात् जाड्यां शेनेश्वरस्तथा चिदाभाषां सतस्त्वेषः जीवानां कारणं भवेत्। जीवानां कारणं भवेत्। So we were seeing the Chitradeep Prakaran of the 6th chapter, which is the 6th chapter of Panchadashi. And this Chitradeep Prakaran, if you remember, it is started with the analogy of a canvas. And in that canvas analogy was given. This is called the 6th chapter in short. So, and the second was the 6th chapter in Vistar. Why it is called Chitradeep Prakaran? So, you have heard it many times that there was one cloth, one plain cloth was there, and in that plain cloth the starch was put. Then third step was the drawing was put on that plain canvas. The last stage was that the painting was done on that plain canvas. So now Vedanta Swamiji has given this analogy to tell something more. He says that Brahman alone is like the plain canvas. If you want to draw something on the cloth, it won't take because there is no starch. Whatever you will draw, it will absorb it or it will not be proper. So plain Brahman cannot create the world. And therefore in 7th chapter, Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti was mentioned. Because Para Prakriti is non-modifying and Apara Prakriti is also required. So that Apara Prakriti, there's Para and Apara Prakriti is required to make the world. You heard in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So only Maya cannot make the world because Maya is dependent on the Brahman. And only Brahman cannot make the world because Brahman is non-modifying. Because of these two reasons, we need the mixture of Para and Apara. So, and therefore the starch point had come. Starch was called. So one was Dhautah, Ghattitah, Lanchitah, Ranchitah. These words you have heard earlier. So plain Dhautah, Ghattitah is with the starch. That means Brahman along with the Maya is called Ishwar. That means like the total causal body, like we have individual causal body, similarly there is a total causal body. And similarly, we have the total causal body has another name called Maya. Total causal body has another name called Prakriti, has another name called Pradhan. It is also called Samashti Karan Sharir. So different names are there for the one intended meaning. If you remember this, this is called Ghattita. So plain Brahman is there. So because of the last pralay, now the same Brahman along with the Maya or total causal body or Prakriti or Pradhan or Samashti Karan Sharir is called Ishwar. Please note one point, Ishwar from his own level is, from his drishti, Ishwar is Brahman. But from our drishti, we say Ishwar is there. So he is, because I am seeing outside the Maya. From his aspect, he is Brahman only. Remember that. So when you are sleeping, so you, the Jeev, the consciousness is along with the microcosmic causal body. When we are sleeping, the consciousness along with the microcosmic causal body is called pragya. You have heard the pragya word here. So consciousness, as we are with the causal body. Now when we are in the dreamy state, there is a subtle body also. So the consciousness is along with the causal and the subtle body. And in the waking state, consciousness is along with the causal, subtle and the gross body. So there the consciousness along with the subtle body is called Tejas, and consciousness along with the gross body is called Vishwa. Similarly, 4 stages are mentioned at the cosmic level. What was the stage called? The Dhautah, Ghattitah, Lanchitah and Ranjitah. ठीक? So, how now, what are the names given to that? So along with the Samashti Karan Sharir or along with the Maya, he is called Ishwar. Along with the total subtle body, he is called, this is the painting, the outlines have been put. When the sketches has been put, that means it is at the thought level. It is yet to manifest. It is sub-manifest. It is neither totally manifest, neither totally unmanifest. Like the thought level thing is there. So that is called Hiranyagarbha. It is called Hiranyagarbha. And when it is along with the whole world, Chaturdash Bhuvanam is there, 14 lokas are there, he is called Virat. These things you have heard, I am just trying to bring back the subtle samskar on the surface. So, he is called Ishwar. Second was, Hiranyagarbha or Sutratma. And third is called Virat. So, Virat corresponds to the Ranjit. Hiranyagarbha corresponds to the Ghattit. What is it called? Lanchit. The Ishwar corresponds to the Ghattit and the Brahma corresponds to the Dhauta. I hope you are understanding this. So on one consciousness, there has been series of superimpositions, one after another. This point was mentioned from 1st to 17th verse. It is called Vedanta Sangraha was mentioned. Vedanta in short. This is called Chitrapat Drishtant, painted canvas. Remember that? And then what was important thing to note for all of us, in that particular drawing, painting, something were without the clothes, like the mountain, like the trees and plant, and something was with cloth, like the human being. So here also in the total creation, something is with reflected consciousness and some things are without reflected consciousness. I am not saying without consciousness. Like this paperweight is without reflected consciousness. It has OC but it does not have RC. Like this is there. This has only OC. But we human beings have OC and RC, reflected consciousness, as well as original consciousness. Remember? So this was the cloth one. The cloth. The cloth which the boatsman is putting in the canvas. So we make two divisions in the whole canvas. One sentient, other is insentient. Sentient and insentient. Don't say conscious and non-conscious. Say sentient and insentient. Okay. So this point is clear. Now the problem was, we think RC is many. And I have forgotten the OC. I am OC, I am the original consciousness on which the whole world is there, but I imagine myself only to be the reflected consciousness. So there can be many RCs, but only one OC. This is what the problem is. And second is that reflected consciousness is superimposed on the original consciousness. So although now I use the word I am walking, I am talking. Now all these I's are the reflected consciousness, I and not the original consciousness. Result is, moment I think myself to be only small, after that series of issues will come in the life. Then I am small, then I don't have certain object, then I want certain things. Then if I don't get it, I feel inferior. If I get it, I feel superior. So now ichha, kam, karma, rag, dvesh, all will be following. Moment you have made yourself or thought yourself as insufficient entity, somebody who doesn't have that, then after that you will be put in the system of crushing system. You will be crushed now. Karma, phal. Avidya is there, then I'll feel that I don't have certain thing, then I feel I should have it, then that person has, then my desire is there, my my resources are less, then I go for the resources, then I start running around in that way. The whole jeev is pushed into the cycle now, because I have superimposed. So this is the RC, the cloth on the boatsman has forgotten that he is the total cloth. The cloth on the boatsman, that cloth has forgotten that I alone am here. There is no one other than me. So I am a very complaining kind of person after that. These complaining people are terrible everywhere. Complain, understand, no? XYZ thing is in the prarabdha. ABC is not there. So I forget XYZ and I only highlight ABC and make my life difficult and others also in trouble. And constantly I say, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have. How are you saying you don't have? Either you are Adhar Vastra or you are Abhas Vastra. Two kind of Vastra was there, Abhas Vastra and Adhar Vastra. तुम लिखना बंद कर दी, लिख सकते हो, लिख रहे हो, Abhas Vastra and Adhar Vastra. So one is Abhas Vastra, reflected cloth, other apparent cloth. Apparent cloth and real cloth. So real cloth is veiled by the apparent cloth. So when I see on the canvas, I can see tree is there, plant is there, but I don't see. I see he only has cloth and nobody else has the cloth. The child will say that only the boatsman has a cloth, or the boy on the tree has the cloth, or that girl sitting on the chair has a cloth. Nobody else has the cloth. And his cloth is different than her cloth. He is a high class person, so his cloth is better than this cloth. He is a poor person, he is a rich person. Similarly, I have forgotten that other than cloth, nothing else is there. So Adhar Vastra is one, Abhas Vastra are many. Adhar Vastra is real, Abhas Vastra is imaginary. OC is real, RC is imaginary. Just I'm revising it because many births have passed in between that thing. This is a very deceptive point. One day projan is not there because something about which impression is less, you tend to forget very fast. And we don't revise also, so after that there is no knowledge, forgets very fast. Therefore in the Gurukul much time is given in revision. And I say much time should be given in what you have already heard and read, rather than in just reading something new. New also you should read, but try to bring back all what has been said. And therefore Parayan was one of the ways. You do the Parayan, you just recite it once again. So Adhar Vastra is one, Abhas Vastra is many. Adhar is real, Abhas is imaginary. 2 points are there. Okay? Now, third point is there. Abhas Vastra, Adhar Vastra is not objectifiable. Abhas Vastra is objectifiable. Because Adhar Vastra is not seen, you cannot say this consciousness. But you can say this reflected consciousness, this person has gone or this person has came. Abhas Vastra comes and goes, Adhar Vastra does not come and go. The OC or original consciousness does not come and go, but the RC comes and goes because it is the Jeev. Another point is Adhar Vastra is independent, but Abhas Vastra is dependent. Adhar Vastra does not need anything else to prove itself. Original consciousness doesn't need, but reflected consciousness needs a mind for reflection. It needs RM or reflected medium. 4-5 points are there. So Adhar Vastra is one, Abhas Vastra is many. Adhar Vastra is real, Abhas Vastra is unreal. Adhar Vastra is non-objectifiable, Abhas Vastra is objectifiable. Adhar Vastra is independent, Abhas Vastra is dependent. Adhar Vastra does not come and go, Abhas Vastra comes and goes. Original consciousness is one and reflected consciousness or Jiva are many. Original consciousness is real, the reflected consciousness is imaginary. Original consciousness does not come and go, the reflected consciousness comes and goes. Original consciousness is independent and reflected consciousness is dependent. I hope you are catching this point. So there were many corollaries like that. This topic was from 1st to 17th verse. This is called Vedanta Sangraha. And after that, called Vedanta Vistara. Vedanta Vistara. That is called from 18th verse to end of that. And there the Akash Drishtant was given. Akash Drishtant was given. So, if you remember, we are now going ahead. In that Akash Drishtant, from 18th verse to 22nd verse. Now from 22nd verse to 103 verse was Kutastha Jeev Vivek. Can you just close the door, please? 22nd verse to 103 verse was Kutastha Jeev Vivek. From 104 verse to 209 verse was Brahma Ishwar Vivek. We had not completed this. We were in one, I was asking her that till which verse we completed. Then Kriti told very promptly 186. because I had not thought to take class there. I thought I'll take class after coming back. But I thought let us do some satsang in the morning, otherwise your mind will not be navigated. Mind needs orientation, otherwise you'll go here and there only. So the peace will never come without satsang. So 104 verse to 209 verse is the Brahma Ishwar Vivek. Make it very thorough, make it very, very clear. Be a very good student of Vedanta. Whatever you take it very good. Otherwise, don't take it. If you are doing a work, do it very nicely. Otherwise, don't do it. If you call somebody home, give him the best treatment. Otherwise, don't call him. And if you keep one photograph, keep it clean in your room. Otherwise, don't keep it. So, 104 to 209. Then 210, 210 to 246 will be, it is not was, will be Kutastha Brahma Vivek. 210 to 246. If I am forgetting, you can please correct me. 210 to 246 is Kutastha Brahma Vivek. And after that, then 246. Then rest of the verses, I think 298 verses are there. No? 298. Huh? 290. So 290 verses are the phalam. The overall fruit of everything is there. So this way you categorize the whole chapter, classify. So we had a very good technique of studying. So whole thing, first step was observation. Second step was classification. Third step was analysis of all portions of classification. Last step was synthesis. How to bind all the topic end result. This was the 4 ways of studying the Shastras: observation, classification, analysis, and synthesis. They'll all come back together. If this is clear, I will go back to the subject where we were. This is where we were standing. So we were on the Ishwar Prakarana. Ishwar Prakarana, which goes from 104 to 209. In that Ishwar Prakaran, if you remember, if you open the book, we had seen 4 characteristics of Ishwar were mentioned. Vam Manduk Karika. Which one? What for? Very good. So he got it. In spite of her age, she is younger than you. So, Esha Sarveshwara, Esha Sarvagya, Esha Antaryami, Esha Yunihi, Sarvasya Prabhavapyo hi Bhutanam. 6th verse is there, I think, of Manduk Karika. So he is the Lord, he is the omniscient Lord, he is the inner controller, and he is the womb of the whole world. I had seen each in detail. If you don't remember, please see your notes if you have made. If you have not made, then your task will be difficult of revising, because you have no reference after that. So we had seen this, and I will not go into Sarveshwara, Sarvagya. I had told he is omniscient. Omniscient means what? why Ishwar is required in the world. We had given lot of time that why Ishwar is not a matter of belief only. Why Ishwar is required, why you say Ishwar has to be there. Then I had mentioned one point that anywhere if activity is going on, then action on what activity is going on, an actor and acted upon will be different. Like I am holding the flower. So there is something called holder, something is called held, and something is called action of holding. There are three things. Holder can't be held. I can't hold myself. I can't walk on my feet. So if there is an activity going on, so there has to be the actor who is different than the acted upon. An activity. Hand cannot be the action of holder. Action of holding can be different, will be different than the holder. Holder, action of holding and held. These three are three things. If you are following, walker on which I am walking and the action of walking, these are three different things. Talker to whom I am talking should be different and talk should be different. So if this is clear, then the whole world there you see, am I right, a lot of activities going on. Tremendous whole world is in a big jig activities going on. Not one, two, but zillions of activities are going on. Many people are getting, all the jivas getting fruits of action. Earth is also active, sun is also active. And even the plants, supposing you say, the plant, the holder of the dharma of the object is also an action. I'm repeating it. Like bowling, see, elder person is not there, house cannot be held. Since my father passed away, we all got scattered and splintered because there is no holder of the house. So something together also is an action. To keep something together also is an action. So if the plant's dharma is kept together, that also is an action. That this plant will grow in this tropical climate or Mediterranean climate, or this will bear this fruit, or this will have this kind of leaves. So that is also, so maintaining the dharma of an object is also an action. Now you tell me, if this action is going on this nature, so there has to be actor who is different than the nature. There has to be some actor who is different than the water, who is different than the earth, who is different than the sun, because these are under which action is going on. Actor and acted upon will be different, and therefore there has to be a very big powerful Ishwar who is holding the whole Brahmand, and because of whom everything is acted upon. Everything is, so nature is not intelligent. Nature is acting, people use the word nature is working. So somebody else is holding the nature. And the one who is holding the nature will be Ishwar. And in Nyaya they say, Ghat karta ghatagya bhavatum arhati. One who is the maker of the pot, he should know very well the pot. Supposing somebody has made the food very well, so that means that person must be knowing each ingredients of the food, then only he can make the food very well. Supposing somebody has made a supercomputer or a mobile, So that people who have made the mobile must be knowing each and every aspect of the mobile, then only the mobile can be made well. So if the whole world is functioning in rhythm, in synchrony, in perfect synergy, what you call, that means the maker of the world should be omniscient. He should be knowing each aspect of the world. And therefore, he should be not. So Ishwar is there. How do you prove? Ishwar is proved because the acted and actor should be different. And how do we know that Ishwar is omniscient? Because everything is very well done. Everything is very. Remember, I had defined it in the definition of intelligence, creating a particular cause for a particular effect to give the fruit of action and the fruit of grace. Didn't get my point. To create a definite cause, to create a definite effect. Like supposing I had to come here in South Africa. So for that the cause was created somewhere for me to come. If earlier visa I had gone, then I wouldn't have come here. So for 6-7 months, not 6 months, 5 months Guruji waited. That Singapore visa was there. And here also, nobody was there and problem was there. So two causes were created. And pressure was there from both the sides. So the particular cause was created to create a particular effect of coming here. Up to create that cause there and this cause here also, there was another cause. And to create that cause, there was another cause. I hope you're understanding. So if you start thinking of that, you will be baffled. Don't think it's a chance. Like I have to go from here. So cause is created first. Malino, that example was better. Don't give this example. Example is the example. If you think, I go. But the cause is created somewhere for me to go. Even if for few months or few days. Up, Govindji had to come, supposing. Up, the cause was created to come here, the effect. There is a series of people who created the cause. It is not that you just came. And this is where Ishwar comes into play. Understanding. And later on you will understand that effect that was created, I told you, either to give you fruit of action or give you fruit of grace. We will not know it. And to create that cause, another cause was there. Cause 2. To create cause 2, another cause 3 was there. So one was already tracking all the cause 20, 30 years back. Well, he has no other work to trouble me. He has to create lot of causes. I'm not joking. And you will keep on tracking and you will not know also that. And you see only one effect, you see he did like that, she did like that. But who prompted him to say, who prompted her to do this? If there is a bigger effect, there has to be bigger cause also. So one person is not the sole cause for everything. He was prompted by certain forces around him. Oh, and similarly, Jeev also comes in the womb of the mother, because he has to get an effect called fruit. Through certain fruits are required. Now certain fruits are only in that family and that community or that body and that father and mother, that relation can give that fruit only. Now therefore he has to die at a certain time to get here now. You only think that something has happened. Nothing is chance here. And I give the example of the body also. I eat the food. Lot of, causes are there. Liver is functioning. Why? Because they want to create an effect called health of the body or disease of the body with the fruit. So creating a particular cause to give a particular effect for a long time and a long chain, this is where Ishwar's omniscience is required, because he knows that this effect has to be created. Now what cause has to be made? Which is the cause here in this cosmos? Which person is the better cause for this fruit? Which place is a better cause for this fruit? Which job is a better cause for this fruit? To know this, he has to be omniscient. And also to apply it. We may know that money is there, but I don't have any power to get the money. But he has the power also to bring that Jeev here. Therefore, he has to be Sarveshwar and Sarvagya. I hope. Well, you mean to say that if I have another effect has to be created, he will create another cause for me to go? Yes. Yes. In Vedanta course, so many people were there. In Vedanta course, so many brahmacharis were. See what causes were created for them to go out. And if they want to come, they cannot come sometime. Same place, even if they want to come, they have no right. Now their doors are difficult to open. What was very easy at once upon a time has become very difficult now. And for whom now doors was closed for somebody, now it is open very easily now. So you have to agree. So there is a very strong and powerful Ishwar who is Sarveshwara and Sarvagya as well. And he is Antaryami. Antaryami in the sense that he is pervading all and he is prompting all in the mind also and in the inert also. The Antaryami in the flower, it was like this, Antaryami made it open. It prompted. And same Antaryami will make it wilt. There is a law of wilting also. Same Antaryami will convert the flower into fruit. Same Antaryami will convert the fruit into ripe fruit. Same Antaryami will convert the ripe fruit into a juice now. Now it is pulp and it will fall down from the tree. Same Antaryami will force somebody to come to you and shout unnecessarily. You will feel I am not doing anything by shouting on me. Why all the time he is after me when I am not? Same Antaryami will force somebody to start loving you. Sometimes you wonder, why this person is loving me? Why should he? I'm not that good that he should love me. I'm not that good that he should be. He doesn't know me very well actually. He doesn't know me and therefore he is loving me so much. And he doesn't want anything from me also. You wonder that he doesn't want anything. And I told my mistakes also. Still he is loving me. He is not leaving me still. Because that Antaryami is still forcing him to. Because he has to get good fruit. Therefore Bhagavan has brought some Jeev to give the good fruit. He has a big stock. He said he's a good Jeev. He is good in seva, etc. Or his speech is very good. So let us bring this Jeev around him so that he can get the good words from him. You go on the road, one dog will come and bite unnecessarily. Who prompted that dog? Because you had not given anything to the dogs, therefore dogs are biting now. From nowhere it comes and bites. Another person is not biting. Now you are going to the doctor and do his thing because you had not, or you had somewhere kicked the dog and hit him with the belt in the last birth, and the dog had suffered a lot, and therefore this fruit had to be given in this manner. 100 ways are there to catch you. You are surrounded by lot of jivas. One virus will enter unnecessarily. One bacteria will go through the water, through the air. Airborne bacteria are also there. In the aircraft, they say airborne bacteria are there. The prime place of catching the cold is in aircraft. Because the earth, the water, the air is circulating. You are breathing the air which is full of bacteria. Therefore, they first give you orange juice. In the business class, if you travel, they'll give you first orange juice. Apple juice, will you have apple juice, orange juice, or any drinks? Orange juice. Okay. Give me more. No, only one glass is there. No, you will not get because it is not taking off. So, Sarveshwara, Sarvagya, Antaryami, bahut bada plan. You are, therefore I say always, please do not see one incident isolatedly. Learn to think properly. Why he was angry? Don't think isolatedly. You know, if you go to the doctor and you say, I have a headache, so he will not believe. He will check your blood pressure. Maybe he will say, how is your digestion? How do you sleep well? He will ask series of questions. Because all are interlinked. Whole body is interlinked. Sometimes person has cancer. You know what is the symptoms? Nausea. Nausea. Nausea is nothing very big. You eat something. But it's a sign of cancer sometimes. Nausea can be a sign of. Or somebody is coughing. Or somebody is losing weight. Somebody has a constant cough. And he has 4th stage cancer. So doctor, because he has gone through these cases, therefore he is alarmed when you say some things. And therefore you say, he will say, go for test, go for this test, that test. We say they are just making money by giving me for test. But that may not be the case. Unnecessarily is taking CT scan, that is scan, this is scan. They have a racket. They have a syndicate acting. All the labs and these doctors are hand in gloves. But not all the time. Don't generalize anything. There has, because that many people are detected like this. Anyway, now I'll come to the last portion called Jagat Yoni. This topic of Jagat Yoni, if you go on details, Sarveshwar, Sarvagya, I had already given you a lot of details. Please go through it. This is where writing notes help. Because you just jot the important points you can go through. Because when you read, you write point-wise. Otherwise, you have no referrals available. You are lost. I always prefer a person should write after the class, notes. Just jot down important point. No need to write the whole thing. Okay, Vandan? Vandan is most active now. Write the notes also. Don't say I have no time now. Good notes you write, no problem. Now Jagat Yonihi word is mentioned. That is the last word. So this topic of Jagat Yoni, if you remember, I had mentioned it starts from which verse? 182 to 189. Jagat Yoni topic is from 182 to 189. If you don't have Xerox, Govind? Acha, you have. We have to get the book also. I mean, they could have got the books. So from 182 to 189 is the Jagat Yoni portion, if you remember. And we had seen till 186 verse. And 186 verse, everything here manifests and unmanifests. The topic was like the day and night, like the winking and non-winking. Remember that? Upward movement is called unmilan. Opening there is called unmilan. Downward movement of the eyelid is called nimilan. Unmilan, nimilan. Unmilam, nimilam. Achha. Winking. What is called winking? In Sanskrit, ut word is always up, like udan, unmilan, utshep, utkrisht. Something going upward is called ut. Udan vayu. Acha. So, tushnim bhava manorajya. So everything manifests and unmanifests. If you are ready, I'll move ahead. So, like day, night. Like the Jeev is born, this is manifestation. Jeev is dead, that means he has gone into unmanifest now. Temporarily suspension of all fruits of action. Now he has to take another womb to get back to new birth. That is manifestation. ठीक? I was seeing the world when I'm waking, and I'm not seeing anything when I'm fast asleep. Unmanifest is there. The seed is there. In the seed, all the branches, all the fruits are in unmanifest form. Now the seed has sprouted and it has got stems, it has got flower leaves, and after a few years it has got fruits. That is manifest. So everything in this world is manifest and unmanifest. First of all, get convinced on this point. I am manifesting the thought, but before I was talking, these thoughts were unmanifest. Before I was talking, all these ideas were hiding somewhere. Hiding somewhere. So if you see the cricketers, or if you see the actors, sometimes I see them. Just now I was coming from Amritsar to Mumbai. So next to me Sidhu was sitting. Sidhu. So, having 1-2 bags. You know Sidhu? You don't know? Huh? Navjot Singh Sidhu. So he was sitting. So he offered namaskar. He said, I have a lot of reverence for saints. And namaskar, I said, see, thank you for all your contributions. And come to South Africa. He said, when you will call, why won't I come? बोले आप बुलाइएगा तो हम क्यों नहीं आएंगे? Anyway, so he was sitting and he was a big cricketer. He's a comedian. So many roles he has. He's a comedian also. So that form of him when he is on the camera is different than what is sitting there like this. When he's sitting there on the flight, just sitting like this, asking for tea. Then the air hostess brought a sachet of, he said, sugar I don't take. Don't bring sugar for the tea. Then they brought honey. So he said, wow, honey is there. Wow, kya baat hai? I was listening everything. So now that potential to laugh a lot, he laughs a lot in the comedy shows. He'll keep on laughing unnecessarily. Or he'll play. That is hidden. So everything is manifested and unmanifested. That will say, tell more. No, that was example. People get lost in examples sometime. Main things they don't want. Similarly, there is something called Srishti. There should be Pralay because, please don't forget, whatever is in the microcosm has borrowed its nature from the macrocosm. If in the microcosm there is a Pralay, everything goes into suspension of names and forms. Shakti goes into unmanifested area. All of we know that. That all our names, and when I sleep there is no name and form. And therefore there has to, this tendency of the microcosm of suspending of all names and forms, it must be in macrocosm as well. And therefore microcosmic Pralay indicates there should be macrocosmic Pralay. Macrocosm and microcosm. If you have followed this point, then I will again move ahead. But please be careful. When I say macrocosmic Pralay or Samashti Pralay, it is not that easy to understand. Because here time and space also, because it is easier to understand with the tree and the seed. With the birth and the absence and the death after that. Because still time and space are there, therefore we are comfortably making the time and space. But when I say Pralay at the macrocosmic level, that means space and time also have gone into unmanifest. Now a big question is there. If something goes into unmanifestation, and it is coming, therefore there must be something other than that on which manifestation and unmanifestation is taking place. Shakti and the emergence of the power of Shakti, it means there must be a consciousness. Because unmanifestation is of the nature of ignorance. And for ignorance, there has to be knowledge. You cannot have pure ignorance if there is no knowledge. Ignorance will always be on consciousness because there is no inert at that time. In Pralay, there is no inert. If there is ignorance or unmanifestation and manifestation, there has to be some consciousness upon which unmanifestation and manifestation is there. And that consciousness, because that should not have time and space. Who? That consciousness, because already time and space is in unmanifest now. But I am still there like in the deep sleep. I am existing, but time and space is not existing. that means this I should be of the nature of absence of time and space, absence of limitation of time and space, and this I should be of the nature of limitlessness. If you have followed this point, then I will move forward. If you have not followed this point, then I'll again explain. Only I'm trying to understand it. Because we are habituated to thinking in the domain of time and space. People say where pralaya happens. Supposing there is no pralaya, there is pralaya. Which place pralaya will happen? A place itself will go in pralaya. Only how long pralaya will be there? That itself is go away. So who is in the pralaya? Because something to dissolve, there should be something on which it gets dissolved. There is nothing else other than the consciousness. And that consciousness in which unmanifestation and manifestation is there, that consciousness will not be part of manifestation and unmanifestation because it is the substratum. It is non-modifying. So there are two unmanifest. One is the unmanifest, which is consciousness, which is non-modifying unmanifest. Other is the unmanifest, which is modifying, like that the seed modifies to become a sprout. Okay. And this one is called Dhaut Vastra, without the Maya. This unmanifest is called Maya. And because it is the power, therefore it needs something is there to give its existence. This point we have. Till this we had seen in our last class. Now another point, what else is remaining? There are 3 verses, I think, to complete this portion of what is it called? Jagatyonihi. We will see in our next class. Just revise it. This is your homework, to revise it. 187 completed. Okay, so that is fine. We will revise it. Please revise and please write few questions. Please write few questions which you have to complete in next 2 days. Question number 1. Please write. Question number 1. Please define Ishwar as per Manduk, or what are the 4 characteristics of Ishwar mentioned in Mandukya? What are the 4 characteristics of Ishwar mentioned in Mandukya Upanishad? Number 2. How would you prove omniscience of Ishwar, Sarvajñatvam? How would you prove omniscience or Sarvajñatvam of Ishwar? Which verses, the same question, which verses of this chapter 6 describe omniscience? Third question, please describe the omnipotence or Sarveshwaratva of Ishwar as per Panchadashi, 6th chapter. How would you prove this? Question number 3. Question number 3. 4. Okay. What is the meaning of inner controller or antaryami? Full stop. Can it be known by pratyaksh praman? Can it be known through the sense organ or pratyaksh praman? Last question. Why truth should be other than manifest and unmanifest? Why Atma should be other than manifest and unmanifest? Question mark. Which Upanishad other than this, which Upanishad talks about this? Which Upanishad talks about this? On the top you can write, all questions are compulsory. This you have to submit on, when I come back, 23rd, latest by 23rd evening. Today is 20th, 23rd. Just very small answers you write. Few lines, 3-4 line answer. And as I have told today, it is just, there is no marks or test, nothing is test, etc. Just for your revision. This way I will see, do I need to explain something more or it is clear? No, I'm clear, don't worry. Even if I don't understand, it is very clear. I have so much work, Havan is going on, where will I have a question? So you go there, browse your books, discuss with somebody, and keep your mind aligned to the truth all the time. Simple things there. So much busy we should be whole day that there is no time. Then only I feel the day is fulfilled. Keep yourself tight. Otherwise laziness will creep in. Hari Om. We'll see you. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.